there's a set of traits that you acquire, like advancing your career, and those traits don't typically transfer well in relationship. How has your career choice affected your dating experience?
I work at Rose Bar, so I'm a bartender. Um, I'm not a bottle girl, but I get like the bottle girl comments all the time. Um, I want to say it's probably affected me very negatively. I think the guys you meet in the club are not the right people to date. So I think my job experience has definitely affected me negatively.
Is that
In
where
dating.
you like where do you meet most of the guys you take serious?
Um, I wouldn't say I meet them at Rose Bar, but if you know Rose Bar, I feel like most successful men in DC have been in Rose Bar before. So even if I don't meet them at Rose Bar, they know what Rose Bar is. They've been there. They kind of frequent. I don't know if it's bad luck or something, but
Do you do like dating apps or like
absolutely not. I think um, I've always kind of just met people either like the last person I met on a birthday trip with my friend. When we all went to Colombia, I met one of her friends, and then prior to that, like I met someone at a social event, and then prior to that, I dated someone from the club. That was a bad experience. So
do you feel like they treat you a certain type of way because they know you're a bartender and they know you're around like sleazy guys?
certain men, yes, certain men can't handle that. Certain men genuinely just don't have like I don't know how to explain it, but some men do not have the right programming to date a girl who works in nightlife. Like they just can't handle it. And some guys have no problem with it at all, and they're very secure with themselves, and they have no issues whatsoever. It's not even a problem of a thought in their mind.
Do you understand why they might feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like if you're not 100% secure with yourself, your self esteem isn't good. You don't feel good about yourself as a man. It might be scary to have your girlfriend work at a club where she's constantly being approached by men with lots of money and um, you know, you're a bartender. That could be something that I would find kind of scary if I didn't have it all together. It's like, it's like you being a woman and you not being happy with yourself and a woman that you look up to approaches your man. It's something like that. You just gotta be secure about yourself and it'll be okay.
Okay. Last question. Not to badger you. Would you change your career for a man? Like if you met a man and he was your boyfriend, he said, "I don't want you to do this anymore." Like, would you leave?
If he is willing to find me something that is better than what I'm already doing, I would have no problem leaving because you're bettering me, you want better for me, you're bettering my situation. But if you're not offering any types of real solutions or I know that you can't like sustain back up the words that you're like saying, then no, I'm not going to leave my job for you because I make good money at Rose Bar.
Okay. But you would be open if he was like, "I'll teach you a skill and help you find a job." You would be open to doing that.
Yeah, if I see real potential in this man and I can take his word for it, yeah, I can trust in that man, then yeah, I would do it, but hasn't happened yet.
Okay. What about you, Bridget? How's your career affected your dating?
You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, what do you do, first of all?
So I am a beauty business and salon owner. I have an extensions company and some beauty products and some hair care products and things like that. So early on in my career, I feel like, because I'm a hairstylist as well, I feel like early on, hairstylists are pretty much like the drug dealers of the beauty industry. So men associate them with like having money and just being really, really successful. So some men, if you meet someone who's doing better than you, of course they like it. They like, okay, that's what you do, cool, whatever. Some guys who probably not, I guess, doing as well for themselves, or I don't want to say doing well for themselves. People who are not entrepreneurs or people who work like just regular 9 to 5 jobs, it can go like 50-50. Like some people take it serious, some people don't take it serious. Like I've dated people who don't even think I have a job. They be like, what's your hobby? I'd be like, well, my hobby pay the bills, so it sounds like it's a job to me. My hobby has a brick and mortar, so it sounds like it's a business to me. You know what I mean? So it go both ways. I found it easier to just kind of not talk about what it is that I do And I feel like it goes better. So like if someone asks me what I do, I just be out here styling and profiling. Like I'll just say something funny along the lines of that's suggested, but I don't really get into details because I want you to get to know me, not like my career and what I got going on until later. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not asking you, well, you know, what your W-2 look like last year? Like, you know what I mean? So,
Do you are you like kind of hiding that because you think they'll be intimidated by the fact that you're an entrepreneur, or like?
both. So I think that some people will be intimidated, and then I also think that like some guys would think that when you're like independent or when you are an entrepreneur that like you got it, you don't need no help, and they just treat you like that. Like if I need my tire fixed, you know, they don't do the chivalry thing no more. They're like, oh babe, bring your car around the corner, I'll come get your tire fixed. Like they don't do that kind of stuff. Like don't open car doors no more. And it's like I'm independent because I have to be. Like if I don't do this, then what else? Who's gonna take care of me? You know what I mean? So if my career is something that you're intimidated by, yeah, you're not gonna like that. I'm out here making all this money and you go to work and don't make as much. Like I don't know what to tell you. But someone who got it going on, they're an entrepreneur as well, or maybe they make $800K at their job or do whatever it is. I don't necessarily have that problem with them, but you know, they might be like, you know, I have men. The men that I've been successful with don't care about what it is that I do. Not as long as I do something, but like they're just happy I'm doing something, because they've met girls who they don't have anything going on.
How would you feel if I said the traits that a woman develops in her career transfer into her relationship life? So, for instance, like typically women who are successful, people who are successful in their careers, men and women, have to develop a certain set of traits to be high class like people in their career. Like they have to be assertive, they got to be domineering, they got to bark on people at work. Like you got to be disagreeable, because like if they offer you a raise and it's not what you want, you got to go back and, you know, fight for it. It's like there's a set of traits that you acquire like advancing your career, and those traits don't typically transfer well in relationship. How do you feel about that?
So I do feel like that. I feel like I wear my boss hat all day while I'm at work. When I come home, I don't want to be a boss no more.
You have to know how to.
You know what I mean? Like I want to come home and I'm gonna take care of my man. But if I'm a working woman and you know I'm a working woman, I want to come home and I want to be catered to a little bit. Like, let me rub your feet, babe, something like that. Something like I want to be soft. I want to be gentle. I want to be up under my man. I don't want to come home and gotta bark at my man like, Dad, you ain't put the toilet seat down. You ain't do this with the. I don't want to do all that kind of stuff. So, if depending on the dynamics of your relationship, I might get off work and I come home and be fully submissive, cooking. My jailbird bae, now that's him. I would get off work 10 o'clock. Guess what? Wegmans don't close till 12. I'm up in Wegmans buying him a meal and I'm cooking, baby. Like, That's my man. But anybody else, if you don't give me that feeling, I can't be submissive if that's not how you make me feel. You know what I mean? It's a feeling.
All right, I want to dig into this a little bit. What makes the jailbird man that special to the point where you like, I can submit to him but not the other guys? Because here's my thing, like when I
submit to too. I don't think it's because he's a jailbird. I think it's the special relationship or bond that she has with that specific person. He just happens to be in jail.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because I got a person that I would definitely be submissive to. I don't care how many hours I worked. I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and make you a sandwich if you say you hungry. Because that's how I feel about you.
Like he don't have to.
And that man knows that too. So like,
be with him.
Was it the money though before the jail situation? Because
let me just tell you. Let me tell you the beginning of my love story. So he pursued me for months, and I did not know who he was. So it's like I feel like he took his time. He did his research. He was like, I didn't want to talk to you until I found somebody who knew you, because I didn't want to approach you incorrectly. I thought that was kind of unique. I'm like, well, dang, ain't nobody ever say that. So initially, when he got my number, he never called me. He worked through my homegirl. He was like, babe, she was like, babe, he want to send you some flowers. What's your job address? And he sent me flowers. He sent me thousands of dollars worth of flowers. And I'm just like, that's a big gesture for someone I've never met, I've never talked to on the phone. Like, he actually pursued me. And I'm just like, this is different. Then when I met him, he was a perfect gentleman. He brought me food. We talked. We talked on the phone for hours, just had regular conversation. He never said anything sexual to me. He never was, like, too aggressive with me. He just handled me very, very delicately. And he was just like, I've been watching you for a while, blah, blah, blah. He took me on a date. Like, all of this, we still talking. He was like, I want to take you on a date. I'm like, okay. He set it up, hired a driver. Like, he just really, like, dated, pursued, and courted me. And then during that time, we developed this, like, amazing friendship and this chemistry and, like, this bond. And I'm just like, Like he really made me feel like a woman. Like I had no worries, I had no cares, I didn't have to worry about paying for anything. Like I would go to work and come home, and that would be it. He would just be like, I don't know, but just our little thing.
I hear a bank account. I hear a lot of money. You mentioned a lot of money paying for drivers and thousands of dollars in flowers. It sounds like the money made you feel.
It's not even the money. That's who he was. Because even without money, he from jail still makes me feel the same way. So it wasn't the money. It's him. Money don't make the person. I feel like the money is like sometimes the bonus. Like the fact that he had money made it better because now he's able to do the things that he wants to do to court the girl that he wants.
If he was the same guy and he took you to Applebee's, where would we be at?
Same problem, the same place.
You would have gave him the same amount of submission from Applebee's?
It's the feeling. I just went to virtual reality gaming yesterday in a full-on dress. Wherever they want to take me, if I feel like that, that's where we going.
Okay. What about you, Annabelle? A man wants to take you to Applebee's, and he's a good guy. Like, you could see the character is there.
I said the bae. I ain't say, oh, you want to know, like a total stranger?
That's what I'm saying. Before he was bae, if he just started off with Applebee's.
If before he was bae, if he pursued me the same way without money, it probably still would have been the same way.
I dated a guy who had no money, fell in love with him, and then he became stupid rich while we were in a relationship.
It go both ways.
So, and it was definitely about the vibe and just the chemistry that me and him have. Like, and it was, the money was just a plus when he did get the money. Now, a total stranger, you want to take me to Applebee's, I'm not going for that. But
when I hear a vibe, I hear they gotta be a certain height. I hear they gotta have a certain. See, when y'all say vibe, I kind of see through it. There was a study where it was like, as a man who's 5'2".
I think most women are what you're explaining. I feel like I'm a little different.
Well, let me break this down real quick. It was a study.
Bartender, can I have some more juice?
Yes.
It was a study, right? A man who's 6 foot making $60,000. For another man who's 5'2" to be as attractive as him, he had to make $360,000, right? Mm-hmm. So in the study, they found that there's a correlation between height and the amount of money a man has to make to be attractive. If you talking to Kevin Hart, for him to be as attractive as Michael B. Jordan, he got to make significantly amount more money, right? So when y'all say vibe, I'm trying to get to the point of like, what does vibe entail?
The vibe is what they provide. Like, I feel like, so I guess because I date established men, I'm kind of removed from not started from the bottom, now we here. I'm not removed, but in this life, in this dating scene, I do feel like, thank you, the vibe is the lifestyle that you provide. So if your lifestyle is going to Applebee's every Friday because you got paid on Thursday, that's your vibe. Someone's going to like that. If your vibe is to, hey babe, let's get on a chopper and fly to Chicago for dinner, that's your vibe. So whatever the vibe is that man provides, you can provide a vibe, but this man provided a vibe and I did not like him. So the money doesn't equate to anything. It's a personal thing. It's a vibe. Like, I couldn't be submissive and soft with him, but this one over here, all incarcerated and locked up, I'm all like, dang, I want you to come home so I can cook you food. Like, you know what I mean? That's the vibe. The vibe is the feeling that man give you and what he provides for you. Like, he make you feel all warm and tingly inside. That's the vibe. Not the money is just a plus.
Okay. You say the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, with that person that I dated that had no money and then became rich, I don't see myself doing that again. Like, I don't see myself being with someone. From that. Like, I've done it, and it was cool.
Y'all were younger when that happened.
I was a lot younger.
Okay.
I feel like now that I'm older and I'm, like, in a certain place in my life, I feel like I deserve a certain tier of a level of a man. And there's a level of a man that I will not deal with. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I know I don't deserve Applebee's on Friday. I know I deserve a man better than that. Because if I can provide us Joe's on Friday, you can only provide Applebee's on Friday. Like, that's...
Like, last time
That's
I
not
ate at
cool
Applebee's,
for me.
I probably was in high school.
I've never ate at Applebee's. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been at Applebee's.
If I ate there, it was definitely like high school or something. Like,
is there a double standard between building a woman up versus building a man up? Because if a man builds a woman up, he's a strong man. If a woman builds a man up, she's a bum. She's weak. Why would she do that?
I don't feel like that because I feel like we each build each other up in different ways.
It's a situational thing for sure. But, like, it's no it's no. At the end of the day, no one's gonna. There's always gonna be somebody that disagree with you. Like you can raise, you can help make a man, help him become a rich millionaire, and he can build you up in the process too, and it can be like a win-win situation. Or, but even if it is that, there's still gonna be that one girl that's like, oh no, you a bum. You took in a bum nigga and you whatever. You know.
Yeah, but now my bum nigga rich and you ain't got no nigga. So what's up?
So what y'all saying is like it's cool, it sounds good, right? But what the men are saying is like a lot of women won't look their way if they're not already at a certain level, if they're not already making a certain amount of money, and they're not finding
Right,
that.
because what was you doing all this time?
Well, most people. Okay, so what's the average salary of black men? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm trying to be the average salary black woman over here. I'm trying to find a black man who already got his salary so we can.
But just give me a guess.
50,000, something like that. 65.
What you think?
I don't know, like probably the same 70.
Well, 42, right?
Okay.
If you adjust that for DC dollars, you're looking at around 60K. Most people are average people. Most people are not corporate people. You feel what I'm saying? So what's happening right now is like 50% of men have stopped approaching women in the last year. 63% of men have decided they don't want anything to do with women. Situationship, short-term, long-term marriage. They don't want anything to do with women.
So they're pleading. What's the word I'm looking for? It begin with an A. It'll come to me. They just
asexual or
just completely asexual.
I'm asexual as fuck right now. Serious.
But what's happening right now is men are like, yo, like the amount of effort it takes to get a woman right now is significantly higher than what it used to be, and then the value you get from women, it's not worth it. So they're just
Is that what research is saying?
yeah.
It's hard.
In terms of why they're
that way
choosing.
about men. That's why I'm literally single and asexual right now. I done did all that already.
I feel like
You hear the story. Y'all hear the stories. Y'all be around other girls where it's like, if a man can't fly me out on the first date, if a man not paying for my hair and nails and my dress on the first date, if a man's not taking me to
I don't think there's nothing
Mastro's.
wrong with having standards, but sometimes be
Some
realistic.
girls are unrealistic
Yeah, they
and
just aren't
delusional